Hi, my name is Samantha-Elisabeth, and today I'm coming to you with some big revelations that I felt like I should share, because I know that I'm not the only one who might resonate with this. And for those of you who follow me on Facebook and Instagram, thank you. Thank you for joining me here and watching this video. This video is specifically about what's sacred to me and how I may have forgotten it, or perhaps another version. But for what I'd like to do is start this video out with a bit of history, a history of where I might have started at. And those of you who do follow me on my other media pages, you'll know that I've been adopted a few times. I have my birth parents, and then I have 3 separate adoptions. So I've had 4 sets of parents in this lifetime. And those legal adoptions didn't include all the foster care and the not everything in my social summary was put, not everything that happened to me was put on my social summary, is what I'm going to say. There were various abuses and neglects and tortures that I would consider, especially in the eyes of a child. But the behavior patterns that were taught to me were extreme survival mode. Just do what the adults tell you to do, or do what you think they expect you to do, and then they'll leave you alone. And I am realizing that, boy, my behavior patterns that got instilled in me all before the age of 5, because yes, all those adoptions took place before the age of 5. And I want to step into some of the acknowledgments of, some of the households I had to eat out of the trash can. Some of the households I had to eat my own shit. Some of the households I was dropped on the floor. Some of the households I was molested. Some of the households I was beaten up. And I'm going to say some of them were actually multiple of the households that these things actually happen in. Sometimes it's just one, sometimes it's multiple. It all applies to the way that I was exposed to life, and how because of those few beginning years, those very few years of life, taught me everything that I needed to know in extreme survival mode. At 2 weeks old, I was in the hospital with a double skull fracture. I have my scar here and my scar here. And so my life started out as my version of a living hell. I was completely helpless. And I just learned how to struggle, and I learned how to survive, and I learned how to fight. Keeping me in a closet, that's just not something that's just not something that I deal with very well anymore. Being quiet is not something I deal with very well anymore. I'm not going to be quiet anymore. And so, moving a little deeper into my story, I learned very quickly that sex was a way to get attention from someone, whether it's a male or female. It doesn't matter, because I wanted attention, and I wanted loving attention, because in my mind that's how love was given, was through sex. And I started having sex at a very early age consciously. Now the times that I was having sex without my consent is not something that I can help anymore. The ones that I can, it's just helping me understand why it is that I took the path. I took the path of I took the path of sex, and I took the path of naughtiness, so to speak. I went down a pathway of joining. I was fighting. I was fighting every day in school. I was smoking cigarettes. I was doing a lot of drugs. I was stealing cars. I was in a lot of fights. Did I say a lot of fights? People would come and get me to fight their fights for them. And it's so weird how it all came back, because I didn't know how to love. The love that I was needing wasn't actually given to me. I was given love in a survival mode, and I needed like a nurturing love, a love that was someone was talked to like a person, a love that someone was treated like a human, not someone who's like meant to be seen and not heard, not someone who has to be kept in the closet all the time, not someone who has to be shut down all the time. I needed a different kind of love, and none of my parents were capable of giving that to me. In my journey, I'm recognizing that the reason why they weren't, none of them were able to, was simply because they weren't familiar with it. They're not familiar with nurturing. They're not familiar with touch. They're not familiar with the things that I was needing, because they didn't take the time. They didn't take the time to get to know me when they adopted me, to know how fucked up I really was. And that's okay. It's just knowledge at this point. I'm recognizing that they had no ability to love me the way that I need it. And I'm just recognizing that behavior pattern because I wasn't able to receive the nurturing, the love, the support, the compassion, the fucking compassion of the extreme measures that I had from the age of 0 to 5 years old. I had no way to defend myself other than adapting to the way my adults taught me. And guess what I did? I just copied them. I just copied them. So easy, right? Well, not when everybody else is on their own fucking behavior pattern and their own journey and their own shit list, you know, of stuff that they're checking off, trying to fix on themselves. It's like, fuck, you know, you're recognizing all these things and you're trying to blame someone for the reason why you are. And it's like, no, it's not even blame anymore. It's fucking recognition. It's acceptance of the reason why I was the way I was. Stepping into the sexuality, let's get into that, because what's sacred to me what's sacred to me now wasn't always sacred. And I didn't really comprehend it. I just know that I wanted to feel good. And sex made me feel good. Just the sex, though. Because there was never any deep connection. There was never... there is just disconnection. Fucking and disconnection. I mean, how many of us know that shit? You know, one night standers, you know, you go into your freaking polyamorous parties and just releasing your energy. And I didn't realize, I got interested in Tantra about 2 years ago. Sacred sexuality. And I've actually put myself into the Tantra festivals and the eco communities where sacred sexuality is practiced. And I wasn't able to participate in those festivals because I found that in my life journey, I haven't always been this slender, beautifully fit woman. I was always significantly overweight. I was always significantly malnourished of affection and of everything. Really, it's not just affection, it's food, it's life of God and who I know God to be at this point. And I went to these festivals, couldn't participate. I was watching all these people go through their traumas of releasing all these sexual things, and I'm like, I've released so much sexually. I don't know what else I'm looking for. I just know that I want someone who's willing to share sacred space with me. I want one person. One. Because in my life, I've never just had one. Even in my marriages, you guys, even in my relationships, I was never with just one. I've always had multiple. I've always been in the polyamorous lifestyle. And I just didn't understand that I was going about it all wrong because, you know, in my lifestyle, I was exposed to sex at a very young age, before 5 years old. And it started out with my father and his friend, you know, and it's like, fuck. I didn't know any better. And so I went to these festivals, I went to these events. I even paid, my ex-husband paid like $2,000, $3,000 for me to attend this Conscious Sensuality 1 and 2 course, where that was traumatic. I had to expose my body to a room full of people. And those people were not, they weren't affiliated with my body. Because, like I said, I haven't always been so slender and beautiful. I've been a little protective of myself, and I got up to 300, well, 296 was my top weight at one time. And so as I lost weight, I was recognizing that my skin is not going back into place. And I decided that people are just going to have to get used to that, right? Well, I went into this fucking Conscious Sensuality 1 and 2, and I had an extreme reaction from somebody involved in the class. And it just helped me remember how many other people I seriously shocked with my body. And I was like, I don't want to put myself in this anymore. I don't. Because then after that particular course that I took, I actually went and joined a few other, you know, new culture camps and tantra festivals all over the world. Didn't fucking participate in any of it. None of the tantra stuff, none of it. Because there wasn't a single person there who I felt completely safe with, who I felt would actually be able to see me and appreciate me for who I am. And it's because I had already experienced all the multiple lovers. I don't need another multiple lover. But I didn't realize that in my marriage, you know, because my last marriage, he would never touch me, like, ever. It took him 2 weeks after we got married to sleep with me. And then after that, he decided to sleep out on the couch because he's going through whatever the fuck he's going through. And all I knew is that I needed someone to lay by me and support me and nurture me the way that I need to be nurtured and held, and whatever that is. Because it's beyond sexuality. It's more heart-space living. It's more heart-centered affection. It's not just about sex. Okay, so let's jump ahead. Let's jump ahead to modern day today, this month, November. Step back. August. The last week of August, I moved to Mexico from Estonia. And I ended up moving a couple times within Mexico, and I found myself in a place called La Salina Beach, where I was taken advantage of. And I really just didn't expect myself to do that. I just didn't. But if I wouldn't, so I went on a medicinal journey while in Mexico. I actually went up to just outside of San Diego, and I took a medicinal journey for the 11-11-11 portal. And the medicinal journey, I was so scared the whole time, and I was so freaking out, and like, I remember like during half of the night, like everybody was taking their other parts of their medicine. And then I was like, you know what? I've been sectioning this out. I've been babying it. I'm just going to take it all, because there's nothing that I can't do. Right? I even specifically remember saying, what's done in the dark must come to the light. as I took it, as I sat there and I chewed on it, and it was so hard to swallow. Oh God. The rest of that night, I played a game called Family Constellations. Look it up. I'm not going to go into that. But that's what I did. I played a game called Family Constellations to learn more about myself. And I went completely fucking crazy learning more about myself than I had ever done. And God was like, Sam, you can do this. And it doesn't matter what everybody else thinks, because this is for you. And I'm like, yeah, I know. But it's really scary, because I don't know that I want to know everything about me. I don't want to know everything about my dark side. And well, the bottom line was, the whole entire night, I was just like told that I have this twin flame, and I have this agenda and all of these things. And so I'm like, oh my God, it makes so much sense. I'm going to go do this. And what I didn't understand at the time, because I was on a medicine journey. I didn't realize what was really being exposed to me. And what it turns out was I had gone back into Mexico, still integrating off of the medicine. I mean, because it took me a solid fucking week and a half or 2 weeks after the medicine journey for me to really get my fucking shit back together. Because I found myself so deeply connected to this person, so completely deeply connected to this person. And it turned out that he was like, different. And I ended up doing what I normally do, is like, I'm like, yeah, I haven't done this and I haven't done that. Apparently I've been like cutting myself off completely sexually, and I normally don't do this and that, but I will for you. Like, I was like, I found myself making exceptions to get attention. Anybody else doing that? Anybody else changing you or giving yourself the okay to do something even though it's not comfortable? That's a reality that some of you may have. You know, I in my marriages, in my relationships, I would be sexually active with not just my partner, but with other people. And so I found myself talking with this person the same but different. Like I'm noticing the fact that I haven't had sex in so many months, and I didn't actually realize it. I'm noticing the fact that I haven't had intimate moments, or allowed myself intimate moments with an individual. And this person, I found myself wanting to do that with this person. And the truth of the matter is, you guys, I really don't. Not unless there's like a complete fucking commitment from both parties. Because I know how valuable my sexuality is. I know how powerful I am. I mean, all of us know how to have sex. We have good sex. We have bad sex. We know what feels good. But what feels good emotionally? What feels good after the fact? What feels good before the sex? And that's the thing that I'm unfamiliar with, is the relationship part where someone can actually take care of me the way that I take care of them. The way that I see them is the way that they're going to see me. I found myself always settling. And if I wouldn't have met this person in Mexico, along with all their motherfucking friends, that very difficult, very, very difficult journey wouldn't have led me to this moment in time of realization. And, you know, as some of you know, I speak, I teach, I do what I every time I find myself, I pay that forward, because I know that I'm not the only one who is experiencing these things, but perhaps I'm one of the brave ones who's willing to put it out there, to understand what's sacred, what's not. I mean, what is sacred to you? Is hand holding okay? Is, can you eye gaze with people? What is sacred to you? What do you need to save for someone special? What is Tantra to you? Because to me, Tantra is amazing. So amazing and so fulfilling. But what I'm recognizing is that I actually haven't given myself the opportunity to be with a partner, a monogamous partner, to experience Tantra with. And I know that that's out there. And apparently I've been saving myself for someone, and I don't even know who it is other than God, because me and God, we're fucking homies. We're homies now, man. That freaking voice of God is just like, Sam, are you listening? Are you paying attention? This is not it. This is a lesson. This is where you should go. That's where I'm at. My sexuality, fuck. I mean, I've been with men, I've been with women, I've been with lots of experiential situations within that realm. And I'm not interested in it anymore. I'm super, super sexually energized. And this is the weirdest fucking thing for me to say. And I'm so grateful and so blessed to be able to still wait for one person. Whoever that is. It's like, it's like I have literally put myself into a virgin state, and on the 1111 portal, that was a big message. It's like I've already given my only begotten son. It's time for the only begotten daughter. And I'm just like, what does that mean? And I'm like, oh, okay, well, what does it mean to me? What does it mean to you? It might mean something different to you, but to me, it's reminding me that everything is in love. Everything comes in dear time. Everything comes with compassion, understanding, healing. Because as some of you know, I have released kidney disease, liver disease, Hashimoto's, and several other autoimmune diseases over the past few years as I continually heal myself. And who would have thunk? Who would have thunk that southern Utah, which is where I'm at now, I left Mexico because I couldn't handle where I was at. And I very much love each and every person that I have encountered along the way. Some of them don't understand me because my path is so fucking different. But there might be some resonance here to some of y'all. And I'm so very blessed. So very blessed to be alive. Because according to Western medicine, I should be dead. And I'm alive, fuckers. Not just alive, but I'm here to pay it all forward. Because God fucking loves me. God loves me so much. Just like He loves you so much. And your walk of life may be different than mine. And it's okay. It's okay. I might not understand it. And that's okay. But We can get along even though we're different. We can get along even though we have different opinions about who God may or may not be, if you want to. But I'm also realizing that in this journey of mine, honey, I have gotten real good at identifying my boundaries. And knowing that I can literally turn around and walk away from someone who's trying to argue with me, that's power. Knowing who God is versus believing in who God is, that's power. Knowing who Jesus Christ is, knowing that you're fully capable of doing the exact same things that he's doing. Because yeah, look around. God's real. Jesus is real. Muhammad's real. Allah is real. Krishna is real. Buddha is real. To me, it's all the same entity with a different name, with a different personality. But there is only one high creator of all things. One. And yeah, I feel that the more we get connected with God, the more we understand that we can talk to the wind, we can talk to the trees, we can talk to the animals, we can talk to the plants, we can talk to the mountains, we can talk to each other. We can talk to one another. And until we know how to talk to God and know that God is absolute love, compassion. Oh, compassion. My God is so compassionate. God's the one who told me I wasn't supposed to die, but Western medicine told me I was. Who the fuck who do you think I'm going to listen to, y'all? Come on now. Let's get real. Get real with Jesus and say, dude, am I supposed to die? Am I supposed to be miserable? Am I supposed to be unhappy? Am I supposed to be miserable? Am I supposed to be sick? Perhaps the answer is yes for right now, because there may be a lesson in there for you to learn so you can teach others how to gain strength through that, because that's what you gain. You gain strength through your faults, through your weaknesses. God gave you the gifts of your faults. That's power. Just some of us take a little bit longer to catch up, like me. I'm turning 40 years old tomorrow, you guys. 40 years old. What a journey. Sacred sexuality. What is sacred? Everything is sacred to me. Yeah, I'm super sexual, but I don't share it with anybody. I'm gonna just wait because God loves me so much. God loves me so much that all of this transition of mine, I'm gonna get a bonus, y'all. Y'all check this out. You just wait. I started this video journal on my Facebook page in September of 2017. And now here I am, November 26, 2018. Whew, I've come a long motherfucking way, y'all. And God has guided me every step of the way. Yeah. And I didn't even realize that God was guiding me until June of 2018 of this year, before I went to live in Estonia. I was getting more familiar with the voice of God within me, communicating to me and me communicating back. Perhaps we can get a little more comfortable with the voice of God within us so we can be divinely guided a little more. Don't know how you feel, but I feel awesome. I mean, man, that just feels great to say, great to be. And thank you. Thank you to those of you who have gone on this journey and who have recognized what's sacred to them, or who are willing to recognize what's sacred to them. After all, it is a learning life. We are constantly learning, we're growing, we're evolving. And thank God, Because, man, if I was still where I was at last year, I'd still be in hell. You know what I'm saying? No more of that. I love you so much. Enjoy your day. Enjoy it to the fullest. I love you. Bye.